Here's your news for June 26, 2020. And your headlines for today include: main event match for Summerslam 2020 reportedly revealed. Kayla Braxton, along with a longtime WWE producer, tests positive. WWE superstars upset with company over withholding critical information. Impact Wrestling fires Tessa Blanchard, world title vacated. WWE announces Taker's tribute on Smackdown this week. Former WWE head of security reveals how miserable Brock Lesnar was in WWE. Rusev and Lana are back, and more. We are kicking off today with news from SummerSlam, as several details have been leaked about the biggest party of the summer. According to Tom Colohue on the Dropkick Discussions podcast, the show should have seen Edge vs. Orton 3, but now the Viper is reportedly set to face the Big Show at Extreme Rules, as Christian hasn't been medically cleared. Despite rumors of Orton facing Drew McIntyre, Colohue said that the plan is for our WWE Champion to defend his title against Brock Lesnar in a rematch from WrestleMania. It'll be interesting to see where WWE goes from here, and although all rumors should be taken with a grain of salt, fans should expect to see the Beast back in the near future. Now, recently it was revealed that WWE had a lot of positive cases, and after a reported 24 people tested positive, we're starting to find out who. After Renee Young revealed that she was one of the positive tests, Kayla Braxton also revealed that she had tested positive, but also informed fans that this was her second positive test and that she had already tested positive back in March. In her tweet, the WWE broadcaster urged people not to believe the idea that you can't get it more than once, as she thought she was invincible after she recovered the first time, and added, "Don't be dumb like me." Braxton was still able to perform her duties for WWE while recovering, but she was stationed at home as part of her recovery. Another name that is revealed they have tested positive is Adam Pearce, who now works for WWE as a producer after years as an independent wrestler for promotions like Ring of Honor and NWA. Not only did Pearce test positive, but it turns out that he found this out on his birthday and joked that this positive test wasn't on his wish list. Obviously, this is a scary time for everyone involved, and we here at Slatrock would like to send our best wishes to Renee, Kayla, and Pearce at this truly unprecedented time. With all these positive tests, the WWE are no longer having friends and family in the crowd, instead opting for just the NXT developmental crew. And whilst the Gold Brand stars will need to be tested ahead of this weekend's tapings, they weren't given much notice. According to an internal memo leaked by Fightful, NXT developmental talent were instructed to be at the Performance Center for a drive-through test at 10:30 a.m., less than 2 hours after the memo was sent at 9. It was also noted that if they took a test the day before, they wouldn't need to take another, and that after the test, superstars will need to be isolated until after the tapings. With all this going on, it's not difficult to see why many superstars aren't too confident working right now, and the WWE isn't exactly doing much to calm their fears. A source for Ringside News described the situation as scary, and that there's a lot of frustration, whilst Fightful have said that the WWE is keeping vital information from their talent, saying, "WWE wrestlers have not been informed of even an approximate number of tests, let alone who tested positive. This is a far cry from the first positive test 3 months ago, in which WWE provided the name, how it was likely contracted, and an update on the individual via an internal memo." All superstars, staff, and executives had to be retested today, and though the plan is still to tape Raw and Smackdown today and tomorrow, this is an uncertain time. We've spoken a lot about tests recently and whether tests have been effective, but now one superstar has spoken about what it feels like to be tested. On Twitter, Alexa Bliss described how it feels in GIF form using a clip of Danny DeVito's penguin biting the nose off someone in Batman Returns to explain how excruciating it can be. In response to hearing that tests can feel like a tickle, the former women's champion added, "My first one tickled. I nervous giggled and shot snot out of my nose. Haha, this one? Not one giggle." The swab test being used isn't too effective either, as at its best, it only has an 80% catch rate, meaning 1 in 5 people who should test positive don't. This is a worrying situation for everyone involved, especially with how the petite powerhouse describes the tests, and hopefully it won't be long until things get back to how they were before. We are focusing on Renee Young next, as she's tested positive recently, but is trying to keep positive during this worrying time. After an outpouring of support by superstars, staff, and fans alike, the broadcaster gave a big thanks to everyone who'd sent their support to her on Twitter. Young was reportedly pretty sick recently, but is apparently doing better now, and things are looking up. Speaking of social media, we're sure there's plenty of viewers of ours who follow Alexa Bliss on Twitter, but there was a period recently when her Twitter was set to private, and it was for a very good reason. Like many WWE superstars, especially the female stars, Bliss is unfortunately the subject of Twitter harassment, and one person in particular led the former women's champion to take drastic action. The fan, known as Johnny B, started his tweet by asking where Buddy Murphy was, who fans will remember as Bliss's ex, and added that he was going to end the life of Bliss's current partner, Ryan Cabrera. Responding to this claim, Bliss wasn't messing around, as she said she'd screen-capped both the tweet and his same comment on Instagram, and given them to the proper people to handle the situation. The former women's champion then deleted this reply, but explained she is now handling the situation without giving this individual any attention. This is unfortunately just the latest in a series of bizarre tweets Johnny B has made to Bliss and Cabrera over the past few days, and it seems he created the Twitter account, which has since been suspended, just to harass them. It just goes to show that everyone needs to be careful online, and hopefully Bliss and Cabrera won't have to deal with Johnny B anymore. We've got some huge news from Impact Wrestling next, as the company has fired their world champion Tessa Blanchard. Blanchard, who made history as the first female world champion of a major US promotion, has been in Mexico since the start of the ongoing global situation, and despite being asked to send taped promos for episodes, never did, forcing the company to rework segments on short notice. Blanchard's historic reign didn't get off to a great start either, as social media messages accusing her of bullying came out just before she became world champion this past January. Blanchard's fiancé Daga is also in Mexico at this time, but is still currently signed to a multi-year deal with Impact. Clearly, this isn't how Impact wanted Blanchard's reign to go, as what was supposed to be an iconic moment has instead become a reign full of controversy, and we'll have to see what happens with the vacant Impact World Championship. Back to WWE now, and despite all the positive tests recently, the show must go on, and we're looking ahead to the upcoming Great American Bash special of NXT. While the Bash name is a boost of nostalgia for older fans, one person who isn't happy about this is Dusty Rhodes' daughter, Teal, who took to Twitter to issue a simple demand to WWE. Telling WWE to cut her mom a check, Teal is referring to the fact that the Bash name was started by Dusty Rhodes himself, though it now belongs to the WWE. Not only is WWE using the Great American Bash name, but it's interestingly being used against the Rhodes family, as the show will take place during AEW's Fyter Fest, which will see Dusty's son Cody Rhodes in action. When one fan brought this to Cody's attention, the AEW TNT champion didn't have any problem with WWE using the Bash name, saying on Twitter, "It's all good, friend, I appreciate the sentiment. Although the event means a lot to my sister and I don't own the IP and I ain't holding much of a grudge on it. My focus has to be on our show and talent, making it fun, making it violent, making it memorable." Cody doesn't have time to be upset at the name, as he's obviously more focused on putting on the best Fyter Fest he can, despite the current circumstances. As of right now, Fyter Fest already has a loaded card, and whilst NXT hasn't done much advertising for their Great American Bash, simply having the name alone could bring in some fans who are looking for a bit of nostalgia. Over to the main roster, as WWE has revealed the tagline for their next pay-per-view, which will be WWE Extreme Rules: The Horror Show. As of right now, 2 matches have been confirmed so far for the WWE and Raw Women's Championships, and according to reports, fans can expect a cinematic match for the Universal Championship between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, which will presumably be the titular Horror Show. Before the current situation, Extreme Rules was meant to happen at the SAP Center in San Jose, but with a pay-per-view in the state postponed until 2021, fans in California will have to wait another year to see their live-action event. One person who seemingly won't be at the Horror Show is Charlotte Flair, as after conflicting reports of how long she'll be out of action, the former women's champion has weighed in herself. On this week's Raw, Flair was written out of action with a kayfabe attack by Nia Jax, and despite the rumors of Flair being out for the remainder of the year due to an elective surgery, it doesn't look like it'll be this long. Speaking of sports hiatus, Flair clarified how long she'll be off, saying, "Yeah, so I'll only be gone for a few weeks. Nobody's gonna miss me. They're still gonna feel like I'm there, is basically what I'm saying. I'm gone, but I'm not really gone." Charlotte's response lines up with PW Insider's report that she'll be gone for a few weeks due to surgery, as well as her father's expectations that she'll be back in time for SummerSlam. Of course, until Flair comes back, nothing is set in stone, but it looks like fans won't have to do without the Queen of all eras for very long. We are looking ahead to Smackdown now, as whilst The Undertaker hasn't officially announced his retirement yet, the Blue brand will still honor him tonight. Following the finale of the Last Ride docuseries, the WWE announced that tonight's show will feature a tribute to The Undertaker, which will presumably be a video package, as it's unlikely that the Phenom traveled to the Performance Center given everything that's going on. A lengthy video package could also help fill in the show if they're dealing with a limited roster, and with tonight's show featuring Intercontinental Champion AJ Styles defending against Drew Gulak and Sheamus toasting Jeff Hardy, there will be plenty to see on Fox's 2 hours. We're going back in time to 2004 now, as that's when Brock Lesnar left WWE to join the NFL before ending up in the UFC. At the time, the Beast's abrupt departure following WrestleMania 20 was a huge scandal, but now former security guard Jimmy Noonan has given some details on why the youngest WWE champion left. Speaking to Fox, Noonan said, "Brock was sometimes really miserable. There was one morning when we were at the airport, and we were at the airport again at 5 o'clock getting another 5 a.m. flight to another city. I shadowed Brock because he was the champ. We walk into the airport at the same time and he looks at me and goes, 'Noonan, if one fan comes up to me and asks me for an autograph, I'm gonna punch you right in the face.' And that would be the beginning of my day." Noonan went on to say that Lesnar even bought his own plane so he could fly separate, away from the roster and the fans, and we're sure that Lesnar's current part-time schedule, as well as his expensive contract, makes for a much happier Beast in 2020. And we're ending today with news from Lana, as she's back together with Rusev, sort of. Of course, they were never really broken up in real life, but for the first time in months, the pair have appeared together, sharing the camera on Twitch and YouTube. For those of you who don't know, Rusev has one of the most popular wrestler YouTube accounts, where he talks about everything from games to anime to workouts and anything else that comes to mind. In the video with his wife, the pair discuss which wrestlers are the best dancers, and after a strange 6 months for the two to say the least, including having the USA Network's highest rated segment in a decade with Lana's wedding to Lashley, it's good to see the real-life couple back together on screen again, at least on YouTube.